Good morning, mob family. I hope everyone is doing well. Let's see who shows up this morning to hang out with us, have a chat. Good morning, Matthew. How are you? Good morning, Jethro. Welcome. How's everyone doing? Good morning, Karen. Welcome. Hello, Penny. Good morning. Hope you're all doing well. It's morning for me, but I hope that you're all doing well today. Hi, Karen. Hello. So if you guys have questions about the Golem, about upcoming projects, my con crud, which is done. Hello, Dolly. Welcome. My con crud, which is gone. Oh, let me start the timer. Got an hour, guys. Good afternoon, Karen. Hello, Dolly. So I want to wait for a few more people to come in, but let me start the shout outs. I'm going to shout out the family. So Dolly, Ray, Ava, Zoya, Josh, and Tito. You guys all know who you are. And my sister, Aunt Lisa. Good morning, Linda. Good morning, Lori. So just shouting out the family, then shouting out my mob. Mob, you guys are awesome. Hope you're all doing well and weathering the holidays okay. Okay. That's next. And then I want to, oh, hi, Carrie. I'm sorry you can't stay, but have a Merry Christmas, Carrie. Thank you for popping in and saying hello. Good morning, Adam. Welcome. Yes, Penny, that's essential. Go get the coffee is very important. That's like key. Good morning, Summer. Hello. I want to send a special shout out to if you've ever been in the art, past or present, thank you, because you guys are phenomenal and turn a good story into a great story. So thank you so much. And I totally and completely appreciate the work that you do, the time that you give, the insights that you share. Even when you guys don't agree, it's great to see the differences and differing opinions on what one part should be like. So thank you. I appreciate that. And it helps turn what I consider a good story into a phenomenal story. So thank you very much. Who did I miss? Let's see. Hello, Diane. Welcome. Hello, Joe. Good morning. Hello, Davina. The Kama Collective. Davina has the Tao of Kama. So welcome. Good morning. I think it's good afternoon where you are, Davina. Good morning, John. Good morning, Joe. Let's see. Summer. You caught it. Yes, you did, Summer. You actually caught it, which is fantastic. So if you guys have any questions about the Golem, I'm in the midst of Dragon's Impasse with John. I haven't been able to do too much on it because of the Golem and because the concrete was kicking my butt. And then I had some other issue with my knee. So it's like, oh my God, what? It's like if it's not one thing, it's another. First my arm, then my knee. I'm falling apart here. Clearly I need more coffee. I'm sorry to hear that, Davina. I hope you feel better soon. Yeah, colds are not fun. Let's see. I'm working on getting, so I should be getting, the Golem closes at noon today, my time. So if you haven't gotten your notes in, you got an hour. So go get your notes in if you haven't gotten them in. Noon it closes, and then I really hit those notes, and then there are more edits that have to get done. So by this weekend it should be done. I'm looking to have it out live, at least to the mob by Monday. So if all goes well, no major electronic difficulties or snafus, then Monday it should be out to the mob, and then it'll go like live after that to the public. You guys get a day early at 99 cents, as always. So that's the thing for the mob. Dragon's Impasse, I have to send some more chapters to John. We're back and forth with that one, so that takes a little longer. There's another short story I want to try and get to you before the end of the year called Saving Mr. K. I'll put the cover up probably on Monday when I drop the Golem. It's a short, like holiday story. So it's a Monty and Strong short, like 8,000 words. So I'll put that out probably for Monday. I'll put the cover up, not the story. But I want to put it out to the art. It's a quick art. It's 8,000 words. This is not like a week. This is a few days of art, and then I release it to everyone. So you guys let me know if you want to participate, and then you'll jump in. Yes, afternoon where you are, Davina. Welcome, Lori. No, there's no comments necessary. Just come on in and have fun. Bring your coffee, your tea, your orange juice, whatever it is you drink, and hang out with us. Good morning, Maureen. How are you? Good morning, Noah. I hear the writing's going well, so it's great to hear. Yo, Noah. I tell you, this is so true, Davina. Davina said, I just talked up a visit from Dresden and a tech-busting aura. Speaking of Dresden, Peace Talks comes out next year, the 20th, I think, of May or something like that. Don't take me on this date, but I know it comes out. I got a notice that it's coming out. They have a date already, like the 20th anniversary. Can you believe it's 20 years of Dresden? So the 20th anniversary of Dresden, it's the 20th book. So they're really pushing the marketing on this one. They're saying it works well with the time frame. Peace Talks has only been delayed for like 2 years, but anyway, yeah. Good morning, Chris. Welcome. Oh, Summer asked about audiobooks from Monty and Strong. So they're in the works. Blood is Thicker has been delayed on the narrator side, but it should be in edits, or I guess audio edits, the end of this month, early January. So that's book 3, if I'm not mistaken. Then book 4 is already scheduled for the month after that, and book 5 is scheduled for the month after that. So we'll keep trying to get them in sequence. It's a little longer process because Kevin, the narrator, has to give me the book. I have to listen to the book to make sure it's true to the actual book. And if there are any mistakes or misspoken words or something, I have to make note of it, where it was, send it back to him. So there's a back and forth there. Then Audible takes 2 weeks, 14 days before they take the actual narrated book and put it up. It takes them 2 weeks to make sure that the quality is correct. And then they'll put it up for on Amazon or Audible. I think it's Amazon because they're connected to everything is Amazon at this point. Like everything is Disney. They put it up on Amazon, but it's really Audible. Awesome, Jethro. Just as my Christmas has been planned with the new book. Yes, I'm trying to get you guys the new book for Monday. So that's the plan. Hopefully everything goes well. Noah says he made a 34 reference. That's fantastic, Noah. We're going to keep that going. It's really been spontaneous. I haven't really thought about chapter 34s, but yeah, they just happen. Let's see, who have I missed? Welcome, Justin. Good morning, Robert. Good morning, Leslie. Yes, Penny. Penny says, I'll believe it when I see it for Peace Talks. I've gotten a notice when I hold the book in my hands. I'm like you, Penny. Then I'll be happy because I've been waiting for Dresden for a long time. I hope to never do that to my readers with Dresden. I think I've kind of done that a little bit with Sepia, but not with Monty and Strong. So I hope to never do that with Monty and Strong to any of the readers. I have done it with Sepia, and I apologize. But Sepia will be done this year coming, so that's good. Linda says she was trying to use voice, but it kept typing what I was saying. So maybe you want to work on that voice program you have there. My voice is just too loud. Yes, Amazon owns Audible, Chris. So they pretty much own. At this point, they're going to own everything. I wouldn't be surprised that at some point they buy Disney. It's not too far away. Imagine, yeah. Look, Davina says, imagine if Disney bought Amazon. Then Disney would own basically everything in media, almost, which would be scary to think of. Good morning, Audrey. Welcome. So let me continue here. Let's see. Don't forget to find our page, Bitten Peaches Publishing, on YouTube. Like, subscribe, and share it so that we can get a lot more people seeing our videos. At some point, I think I want to start having author interviews, so I'll start scheduling those. I'll speak to Chris, who's the magic behind the channel, the YouTube channel, Chris Chrisman. He's the man with the plan. And so I'll speak to Chris about how we can organize maybe short author interviews for the YouTube channel, something short, nothing too long. Maybe like the author spotlights that SPF does is like 10, 15 minutes, and just ask some really important questions. Some people want to get insights into how authors work or how they do their work. And so have something like that, and then maybe start putting those up on the YouTube page, on the YouTube channel as well. So I'll speak to Chris about that, because this channel is long term, and so it'll grow and it'll evolve, and we'll have other things and other offerings as time goes on. Because I'm pretty sure at this point, just a whole bunch of videos of me speaking might get a little tiring after a while. It's like, oh, he's talking again. So it's good to see how other authors think and what their process is and how they go about doing what they're doing, creating great stories. Let's see, who else is here? Hello, Diana, welcome, good morning. Davina says, as long as Sepia and Peace Talks are both done before the winds of winter. Yeah, I think that'll happen, don't worry. If they say it's done, I'm gonna take them at their word, but I'm not gonna really believe it until it's in my hands or on my Kindle, because yeah. And Peace Talks is Sepia is scheduled for the middle of next year. So at least the next book is, and the last book is towards the end of next year. And so by the end of the year, next year, Peace Talk, Sepia will be done. So we'll see what happens. We'll see. Hello, Diana, welcome. So let's see. Oh, so I'm thinking of changing the author pick to the fire pick, just for fun. So let me know what you guys think. I thought it was great fun. The people who created it was Milo at Deranged Dr. Design. So great shout out to Milo. Milo is the one who does, if not all, most of the Monty and Strong covers. So he is extremely talented, and he had a lot of fun making this pick. So I think that they have more picks coming. I think there's one of me standing also with my hands like in flames. The picture looks fantastic. So I might change the author pick to that. So good morning, Amanda. Because I have the other pick where I look a little condescending, like I'm looking down at people. You know, how dare I'm gracing you with my presence, you know? So I kind of like the flaming hands pick where I'm about to incinerate you. Read my book and let me burn you. So good morning, Robert. Welcome. Yes, I'm going to try and see how it goes on Amazon. And then maybe I'll just change all my author picks to that. Because as much as I like my author pick with the suit jacket on, it does look a little like kind of looking down at people. And this one is just basically read my books or I will flame you. And that's more fun. Yes, I haven't seen, Noah says Drew Hayes has a beer hat author pick, so why not? I haven't seen it. I'm going to check it out. I think the author pick I have on Amazon now is a pick of Peaches, which of course is awesome. In case you guys haven't noticed, the little mascot is hanging out with us today. So hopefully next year we'll see if we can have these little guys mass produced, and that'll be fun to have out and to give to people. Well, you know, to have it up on the store. So that'll be fantastic. Yes, let's see, let's continue. Want to wish you all, did I look down really? I apologize. I want to wish you all happy holidays, because we just had Thanksgiving, so hopefully you guys didn't put on too many pounds for Thanksgiving. Christmas is coming up next week, and after that, New Year's. And before you know it, we're in January and the new year has started. So I want to wish you all happy holidays, whether you celebrate the days or not. I know some of us have lost loved ones at this time of the year, and it's a tough time of year for a lot of people. So if you do need to speak, the mob is always here. It's a safe place for you to come. And if you feel lonely, we're here. You can come talk to us. I'm here. The pack is here. The other mob members are here. And just come in and you can talk. You can rant. You can listen. Don't spend your holidays alone. You know, just reach out to someone and say hi. Or I feel, you know, extra lonely this year because I lost someone. So come and talk to us. We more than welcome it. Good morning, Julian. I haven't seen you in a while. I've missed your posts, Julian. They were always awesome. Please get back to posting those fantastic posts, Julian. Chris says the suit is nice but stuffy, but then I'm an old hippie who does not own a suit. Yeah, I have one suit right now because of all the training in the gym. I outgrew all my other suits. So if I want to get a suit now, I have to go get it like fitted, tailor-made. Yeah. Let's see. Davina says, I have fire hands. The book contains the counter spell. The only thing that can save you. Yes, read the book or else you get flamed. Let's see. Robert says, read yesterday at the pagan holiday Yuletide lasts from December 22nd to January 2nd. Pagans do know how to party. This is for sure. That's almost a good 2 solid weeks of partying. In the Latin culture, we have something called Day of the Kings, which means that the holiday lasts from the 23rd all the way to January 6th, if I'm not mistaken. So each culture has its own way of celebrating. So I'll just say happy holidays. Everyone, Merry Christmas if you celebrate Christmas. Happy Kwanzaa, happy Hanukkah, the whole everything. And Hanukkah, I think, is in September, but you know, I'm just gonna cover the whole year. Every holiday, happy holiday. And you know, January 1st is our new year, so happy new year. I know it's different in different countries, but we're gonna stick to this country. Happy new year. And wishing you another year of awesomeness. So I know we all go through this. Be measured in your resolutions. Don't try to take on too much. This is something I see in the gym every year. I've been at the gym that I'm at now. Wow, it's going to go on my 4th year. Every January, the gym gets slammed with people making their New Year's resolutions. This year, I'm going to lose weight. This year, I'm going to get strong. I'm going to get fit. And they last about from the beginning of January to about mid-February. And then the gym is empty again. You've seen some of the pictures I put up where the gym in the morning is like a ghost town. Right now, maybe starting January, that place gets packed with all the resolutioners. This is what I call them. So be measured in your resolutions. You know, just make a resolution to eat healthier, maybe get fit, but don't go crazy because it doesn't really last long if you just put all that energy in 1 month and think you're gonna get it done in 1 month. Space it out over the year, and so that you can actually keep the resolution. Don't go too crazy with them, you know? I like what Davina says. Davina says, I'll celebrate any holiday that lets me eat too much meat. Hit me with the dates. I'll get a list for you, Davina. We can celebrate them together, all right? Yes, Diana. See, Diana knows. I remember celebrating Day of Kings with friends when I was a kid in Mexico. One of my favorite Mexican, which we have here, but the favorite Mexican celebrations is Dia de los Muertos, which is the Day of the Dead, which is kind of like our Halloween, but not quite. Day of the Dead celebrates your ancestry. And it's the day that you look back at the family members who have passed, and you remember them, and you celebrate their lives. I think that's for me, it's a little bit more profound than just Halloween. But the history behind Halloween is a lot different than just trick-or-treating and getting candies. So, yeah. I like Karen. She says, I'm not making a resolution to give up gin. Yeah, for some, gin is a necessary ingredient to get through their days or weeks or months. In this case, year. For others, coffee. So there you go. But yeah, so, you know, if you're not healthy, make a plan to get healthy and include some exercise into your life. I know that for some that's not possible, or they don't, but make it possible so you don't have to later on hear a doctor tell you need to exercise or else you're not going to be around much longer. So do it now before, be preemptive with that stuff, you know? Yeah, so those are my announcements. I think those are all the commercials for today, all the announcements, all the PSAs. But I really want to say how amazed I'm at with the art. Oh, one thing I was considering, and I'd like to hear what you guys think, is I know in the back of my books, when I put the shredders, the art shredders, I usually put the first name and the last name's initial. I used to do it for a sense of, you know, privacy for the shredders, but I'm thinking of putting the full name. So you guys let me know what you think about that. I think seeing a full name kind of gives more sense. I mean, you guys know who you are, but if you see your full name in a book, it kind of feels a little bit more like, wow, that's my name, you know? So let me know how you think of what you guys think about that. I think that'd be a nice change for the shredders, because there are times of the shredders have had, like I've had 2 Karen H's or something like that. So you don't know which is which. I think sometimes you put the full name, it kind of gives the proper recognition to the people who are giving of their time and energy to shred, you know? So yes, good morning, Cynthia. Welcome. Good morning, John. See, Lavina says, I will never give up my coffee. Didn't even give it up completely when I was pregnant. I've never been pregnant, so I don't know how that feels. So I'm sure as hell not doing it just for a date change. I completely support you, Davina. We may disagree on chi, but I completely agree with you on not giving up the coffee. Yeah, see, my concern, Karen says full name is a real kick. Yeah, and Diane says no problem with my full name. I'm proud to let folks I love the folks I love the book. My concern was for privacy for the shredders. Some shredders may feel like I don't want to see my full name in a book, and some people just really do have privacy concerns. You know, they don't want to have their full name in a book. But as a shredder, I think it'd be awesome. And I apologize to all past shredders because I am not going back to add the full name to all past books. But I think I will from the Golem on. It only took 10 books. From the Golem on to put the full name, only because where possible, because sometimes you guys give you names like Jim, and we know who that is, or Cat, just one name. You guys are so famous, you only use one name. And so putting the full name, I think, really acknowledges and gives recognition to the shredders for the hard work that they do. So I think I'm going to go with full names this time. It means a little, just doesn't mean much. It means just adding, because I have all the shredder names with the first name and the first letter of the last name. It just means filling out the last name. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if people don't want it, they can tell me, and I'll definitely change that because it's people's privacy. But most people are okay with it. Good morning, Jim. Good morning, Malcolm. Welcome. Yeah, before I'll do that, and I'll ask in the art if anyone doesn't want their full name in the back, and they can let me know. You're not late. You got 38 minutes, Malcolm. That's not late. You made it. That's the important thing. Welcome. So, books that are coming out. I know John Logson has a book that's coming out. So check out the Black Ops PPD, Sinister. I don't know if Noah's up to something. Noah, are you up to anything recently that's about to come out? If so, let us know so we can get that out there too, so we can promote that. I've been in the midst of edits and stuff, so I haven't really been keeping track of who's releasing what, but I know most of the authors in my author circle are very prolific and they're releasing a lot of books. So Craig, the Dragon, started the L4, which is Larry's new list for audiobooks. So if you have any audiobooks you want to listen to, please add it to the L4 in the mob so we can have L3 and the L4. That is exactly it, Davina. That's such a great line. A wizard is never late, nor is he early. He arrives precisely when he means to. And that is exactly it. So Chris asked, how's my Badlands book coming? So let me break it down for you. I started it, then I went to Vegas, which was phenomenal. Had a great time. Came back, had con crud, which wrecked me. I mean, for writing. I went from having my elbow messed up where I couldn't straighten it out, then having an ankle messed up where I could barely walk, then having a knee on the other side, like get all really funky. It was really weird. It felt like I had squatted too heavy and I hadn't been to the gym in weeks. So maybe it was because I hadn't been to the gym in weeks because of the con crud. I think it was a result of the con crud. So then the Golem had to get done because the Golem had a really firm, like, no mess around deadline. It had to get done. And so I had to focus on that, got that done. And then now I'm focusing on, once the Golem is done, I'll be focusing on Dragon's Impasse and saving Mr. K. So yeah, so the Badlands book is coming along. I'm really behind because I lost a week in Vegas for writing. So I'm not going to do any writing in Vegas. That's not going to happen. And I kind of lost a week with Concrud because for the first time in years, I was really ill. Like, it never happens to me, but I was ill. So I'm about 2 weeks behind, I want to say, on Dragon's Impasse, but I'll catch up quick. Yeah. That's awesome, Noah. Noah says a few months, probably working on a few at the same time. That's fantastic. Great to hear. Oh, or podcast. Let's see. Oh, podcast would be good too. We'll discuss, Chris, because you are the man with the plan. So definitely. If you see our YouTube channel and it looks phenomenal, it's because of what Chris has done. That's Chris Chrisman. Dos. So all props and shout outs to Chris for what the YouTube is shaping up to be. So that's awesome. Thank you, Chris. I totally appreciate that. Davina says that's what her body does to her all the time. Yeah, Davina, I know the feeling. I usually don't get ill, and I usually don't get all those weird pains, but I'm not 18 anymore, and so I guess I may need to modify some of the training regimens. Yeah. Please, Karen, go feed the tribe. That is very important. If not, if you don't feed them, you become the menu. So go. Yeah. Yes, Chris, thank you for sending me all your physical ailments. I worried for you a little bit, like in the rocky terrain. I was very ready to leap into action because I could still move, and if I had to steady you, no issues there, So, but yeah, I appreciate that, Chris. Thank you. Thank you for sharing all those ailments with me. And on a more serious note, thank you for letting me be part of that fantastic event. Bye, Karen. Malcolm says, feed the tribe to what? I think she just means feed the tribe, not to what. There's no to what there, Malcolm. So, yes. So, I was considering that when I heard a comment about another author getting back to the shredder names, another author had included the full name, and then a person had posted that they saw their name in print. And I thought, wow, I have this group of shredders who every book contributes and adds to the book and converts it from a okay book, a good book, to a great book. And I just put their first name and their last initial. So I'm thinking of putting in the full names. So yeah. Davina, you dislocated your shoulder by rolling over in your sleep. Yeah, see, that would be painful. I'm going to avoid that. Wow. Yes, Noah, I've noticed that even Arnold, yeah, but Arnold's like 75. Noah says even Arnold sticks to machines for most stuff now. Your body is the boss. I get it. As you get a little older, and I have a lot of wear and tear from the karate. Like I've been doing karate for 30 years. So yes, I'm stronger in many respects, but there's just natural wear and tear. Sitting in seiza is not wonderful for your knees. After a while, you gotta realize what the limitations may be and work within those parameters. So I gotta listen to my body a little bit more and not what I think my body can do. Davina, that's amazing to dislocate your shoulder while sleeping. Yeah. Yes, Chris. Yes, I appreciate you sharing all those ailments with me. Chris says that's what friends are for. Thank you, Chris. I appreciate that. Robert, I feel your pain. Sensei sprained my right knee in 2005. Yeah, teaching a group of security officers the proper use of expendable steel. Yes, and steel wear. I'm gonna have to wear a brace, I think, for my knee when I go back to the gym to start lifting. Like this past Monday, I considered the thought of going to the gym and just using the bar. So I did some air squats with nothing, and my knee promptly screamed at me and said that was a bad idea. So I'm really itching to get back to the gym, but I realize that if I go back now, I could end up making things worse. So I will wait and be patient and do what I got to do until I can get there. But I will be taking, I got to take my wife to the gym to make sure she does her training, and she's been really good at giving me reasons why, she shouldn't be going. Like, it's the holidays or this or that. I'm like, yeah. And I've been, letting it slide just a little bit, but we both have to get back into making sure we stay fit. So yeah. I have a fellow student who tore her ACL just fighting, just doing a regular move and rotated and tore an ACL. Yes, valid reasons, I'm sure, Dolly, valid reasons. So is it knee issue because they did it? Yeah, I think it's because we get older, and as we rotate and torque the joint, Davina, it responds in a way we don't want it to, and things happen. You hurt yourself. Yes, Chris, I live dangerously. He says, I'm so dead. She's right next to me, so I don't say anything on here that she's not gonna hear. She's right next to me when she's you know, like the Wizard of Oz. She's behind the screens, not literally behind the screens, but behind the screen. So yes, yeah. So I'll work on getting back into the gym and getting, you know, it's not that I'm not fit. It's just that not going to the gym is not good. Being in the gym is good for my mental health, which means it's good for my writing health. So getting to the gym is good. But the con crud, wow, I had never been that ill. I haven't been that ill in years, literally years. I don't get sick. So it was very surprising to be debilitated by illness like that for so long. Then I realized, well, you don't bounce back as quickly as usual, like when you were much younger. So yeah, these things, it's interesting to see what happens to you as you get a little older. You realize these things and you got to work with them. And you just take precautions, you know? For me, it's important to exercise because it means I stay healthy enough to keep writing. And I want to keep writing for a long time. So I was speaking to a few authors at 20 Books to Vegas who were complaining about, you know, their health. And I said, well, you need to move your body, exercise. You want to keep writing for your readers. And in order to do that, you have to stay healthy. And so just get healthy, and then you can keep writing. Because if you're in the hospital or really ill, there go your stories. And so, yeah. Yes. Yeah, Malcolm, I think it's, if you're still fortunate enough to have your mom with you, Malcolm, nice, gentle conversations about you need to be a little healthier. Let's and maybe not even say it that way. Let's just say, let's go for a walk, or, you know, let's eat some more vegetables or things like that. You know, something that I'm notoriously infamous for not doing. I don't eat as many vegetables as I should. And my wife is like, you want some spinach? You want some carrots? And I'm like, do I look like I want spinach or carrots? You know, but she doesn't stop trying to, you know, prepare healthy meals. Davina says, behind every successful man is a patient woman, sometimes literally behind with a pointy stick. Yes, totally agree. My wife has been very patient with me. Good morning, TJ. I don't know about the pointy stick part, but she's been very patient, Davina. Yes. So what did Robert do? Lady Davina, I made a rookie mistake. I was in a lunging position. Instead of getting my hips lower to the ground, I bent the knee at more than 90 degrees. Yeah. Once you go past 90, you're really putting that knee in danger. So, yeah. Well, Malcolm, who wants his mom to slow down a little bit, you have a definite role to play there. You can help her slow down. Like, you know, if you're fortunate enough to be close to her, you can kind of schedule visits in the day, have her do some things where it's, you know, not running around all the time. Help her slow down a little bit. Because if she doesn't and you think she's gonna get hurt, then have a real heart-to-heart with her and speak to her about it, you know? Yes, Davina says I do that kind of thing a lot because of chronic joint problems. Yes, you have to protect your joints, especially as you get older. Oh my God, this is turning into like a geriatric episode. So, but you have to protect your joints. It doesn't matter what age you are. You got to protect your joints, because without them, you lose your mobility. And once you lose your mobility, things start going downhill. You have to move your body. It's important for our body to move. It's how we stay healthy. Once you become sedentary, and I know a lot of us work in offices, or a lot of us are retired, and you stay home and you're behind a desk and you're sitting all day, that is not good for your body. You've got to get up, move around, walk. If you have little ones or you have grandkids, get on the floor with them, play around to the best of your ability. but you need to move around. Your body requires movement. It's how you stay healthy. So yeah. Dolly says I need to live to 100. Imagine how upset my readers would be if the M&S world paused forever. We'd miss the soon trademark. Yes, that's so. I intend to write until I can't write anymore, and maybe I'll train one of my little ones so they can continue writing the stories after I'm not here. Let's see. TJ says vegetable beef soup, vitamin pillable. Ooh, yes, but yeah, that vegetable beef soup has to be done really well. Maybe we should start like sharing recipes, and we can holiday recipes. That would be awesome. TJ, I saw that. Wow, that headbutt. TJ showed me an image of a headbutt. Who headbutted you? That was like, oh, what headbutted you? Was it a dog? If that was a dog, that was like a peaches side headbutt. Jeez. Yeah. So Dolly says Orlando especially loves quinoa, tiger nut flour, hemp seeds. Yeah, not happening. You send me recipes with any of those ingredients, they're gonna get vetoed right away. Well, Malcolm, if your mom still wants to be everywhere and do everything, and she can within reason, you should encourage her. Just try not to let her overextend herself, you know, and if she's much older and you see that it's having a detrimental effect on her, then that's when you need to have a conversation, because she may be thinking that she wants to do everything and be everywhere because that's how she keeps her youth and independence. So you want to walk that fine line. You don't want her to feel that she's losing her independence, but you also don't want her to get into a situation where her health is at risk. So if you're there or you're a primary caregiver for her, you need to have a conversation with the focus being, I want you to be as healthy and as active as you can be, but I don't want you to end up in a hospital. And then that's where exercise comes in, and making sure that she's getting enough, you know, vitamins, and especially with older people, their bones get brittle. So you want to make sure that she's doing something that prevents that. That's important. So really have a real conversation as her son, you know, you're concerned, you know. But exercise is key. If you can get her to exercise, I saw an article about a 90-year-old woman doing deadlifts at 90, when most people at 90 are falling apart, and she's doing deadlifts. So don't think it's too late. It's never too late to do deadlifts. You just gotta, you ease into it, or it's never too late to do exercise. You ease into it, and slowly you can, you know, and you keep yourself young. You keep your body young. Good morning, Lena. Well, it's morning here. Good morning. Yes, it's always going to be within reason. Yes, because they're your parents, and now here you are telling them what they need to do, and that's always a back and forth, because like, I'm your mom. You don't tell me what to do. I tell you what to do, and so it's a tough one. But you be patient, don't give up, and just always preface it, or always keep it within the context of you want her to be healthy, and you want her to be around a long time, and you want her to stay healthy and not be in a hospital. TJ says, yes, my black lab. Your black lab headbutted you? Wow, your black lab is strong. That bump is serious. Yeah. Yeah, just watch that black lab. Noah says, potatoes count as vegetables. Yes, they do, even when they're French fries. No, not when they're French fries. But potatoes are vegetables. I guess they do, yes. They do count. Chocolate also counts as a vegetable, doesn't it? Carrie asked. And I agree with Carrie. Chocolate, which comes from the cacao bean, is a vegetable. Just like coffee, you know, which comes from another bean, is a vegetable. Those are all vegetables, just in different forms. So I'm getting a lot of vegetables, actually, when I think about it. And wine, as Davina says, which comes from grapes, so is totally one of the 5 a day. I get it, because wine is a fruit. See? I love how we classify our foods. Chris says chocolate is a food group of its own, according to my Annie. Annie's a very wise woman. Yes. See, Diane agrees. Coffee is a vegetable. Chocolate is a vegetable. I'm getting so many vegetables. It's ridiculous how I'm overloading on vegetables. Yes, Chris. Chris says as parents age, they revert to childhood. Well, you know, my philosophy on this is that it's all a circle, right? And we've had conversations like that. But if you really think about life, you start out pretty helpless. I mean, not pretty helpless. You start out helpless. You can't feed yourself. You can't clothe yourself. You can't get around. You have to be carried all over the place. All of that ends up being where you end up as a very old person. Sometimes you can't feed yourself. You can't get around. You barely can, you have to be taken everywhere. And so we end up, life is a big circle, right? We end up right back to where we started. When in the beginning, you're in a little carriage and your parents are pushing you. In the end, you're in a wheelchair sometimes and people end up pushing you. So it's just the same thing at the end as it is in the beginning. You have to enjoy the process. That whole circle, you have to enjoy it. So don't race to the end. Enjoy the process, but realize that as you get older, you revert back to where you started. As they say, life is a circle. So Davina says, also, if you are what you eat, and cows eat grass, cows are grass. So beef is also a plant-based food. Davina, the logic, it's airtight. It's infallible. That logic is awesome because I love steak. So there you go. Good morning, Gail. Welcome. Chris, you are a fortunate man to have both your parents. Mine passed, 8 years ago now, my mom. So yours are in the mid-80s. Just watch out for them. They will have a mind of their own. They're your parents. But you have to kind of be vigilant about what they do, how they eat. It's basically you become the parent as you get older. That was adorable, wasn't it, Davina, when you said my Annie? Yeah. Malcolm says ketchup is a fruit. Again, I am not refuting any of this because I completely agree. Ketchup is a fruit. Tomatoes, ketchup, fruit. See? And Ali says sugar is an essential nutrient, perhaps even an amino acid. Science still hasn't established. I think sugar is an important thing too. But sugar, I try to eat in moderation, but sometimes I get a little carried away. Chris says we need a bigger box. Yeah, I think we do. Yes, respect. Do not get the attitude. TJ says do not get the attitude unless they're ill in dementia. If you treat geriatrics with respect, you will get along better and get them to work with you. Here's what I've learned in my experience. People who are older, who are senior, are a wealth of information for your life. If you treat them with respect, especially when they're your parents, don't ever lose the respect for your parents. But if you treat them with respect, they can give you the insight of what they've lived through, maybe not so directly, but in the conversations that you have with them, that could help your life. And you can lead a better life, or they have wisdom there that you may not have lived through or experienced. Like there are people who've gone through a depression, people who have lived through wars. They've been there before you. They've walked the path before you. And there are insights there that if you're patient and you're respectful, they will share with you. And it's just good to respect your elders. That's the way I was raised, that you respect your elders. It's a huge thing in the martial arts. I mean, I know practitioners who are much older than me who can't do the same things. But when they were younger, they were scary, but they have earned that respect. So just because their bodies cannot function the way they used to maybe 20, 30, 40 years ago, doesn't mean that the respect isn't there. And you always, not only in the martial arts, but just in life, like even with authors, right? You respect those who came before you because they paved the way for you. I've always said I stand on the shoulders of giants. So if I'm writing today, if I'm creating stories today, it's because I filled my youth with stories of like these fantastic authors like Bradbury, Heinlein, Tolkien, C.S. Lewis. I mean, the list goes on. And so I was able to fill my reservoir with all these great stories of these authors who came before me, and now I'm able to write. So if you don't respect where you came from or those who were there before you, you're living a short-lived, short-sighted life, and you're gonna be pretty much an ass if you don't respect people. So learn to respect. It's important. And like TJ says, unless they're ill or have dementia, and even then, that's when you have to temper the respect with patience. Even when my mom was near the end of her life, and she'd start a story and she'd say the story, and then 10 minutes later she'd say the same story. I don't get to say, oh my God, you just told the story. I would be like, really? Oh, and I would go through the story again. Because realize that they were there when you were young and sick, and you were they raised you. So how could you not respect that? You just have to have patience. Carrie says, and tea is a plant-based too, so she gets more than 5 a day. I totally agree, Carrie. I'm all for people who drink tea as well. So yes. Davina says, I wish my mom would realize I have a mind of my own. My son is 6. I am not. Davina, for your mom, and I can tell you this is a parent, and you're a parent too, so you know, you will always be a young girl to her who's being raised. Doesn't matter if you're 6, 46, 66, you're always going to be a little kid to her. So that, I don't think that ever changes. Even when I was an adult and my mom would sit me down to give me advice, in my head I'm thinking, that's exactly what I'm doing. I would still listen because I don't think that perspective ever changes, because they're always going to see you as their young child, even though you have children of your own. You know? Yes, you have to have, it helps if your parents are decent, but even when they're not, be the decent person, you know? Carrie says, I concur. I spent most of my nursing career caring for the elderly, and all they wanted was to be treated with love, dignity, and respect. Actually, we just had this conversation yesterday with a teacher who was tutoring my daughter, and she put her dad, who was ill, who had just had surgery. He was in a assisted care facility for a temporary time to recover from the surgery, and they were not treating him the way he needed to be treated. And unfortunately, you see that a lot in our country here. I don't know about in other countries. In our country, this is my personal opinion, so you can hate on me all you want, but it seems almost to be like a disposable mindset where old people are put away. And it's sad because in other cultures, in my culture, you venerate the old people. So you usually bring them home to live with you, and when they're older, or you go and live with them, and you take care of them as they get older. But in many countries, this one included, you know, old folks are put away. They have an old folks home, or, you know, and I get it, not everyone can take care of their parents. I understand that. But I also think it's a mindset thing. You know, we have a tendency in our society, and I'm talking about in general, where you lose your worth as you get older. You're not as valuable to society, is the mindset. And that's not true. You have a wealth of experience, you have a wealth of insight, you have a wealth of wisdom. And your life doesn't really get going until you're about 50, 60. You know, if you read the old Napoleon Hill book, Think and Grow Rich, I read that a long time ago. And you notice, and he studied a lot of rich people from the past, like Carnegie, Rockefeller, all those people back then. He realized that they really came into their wealth in their 60s, because that's how long it took for them to really establish themselves. So it's changing a lot now because people are coming into realizations that older people have a lot to provide, but there's still a big group that says, well, when they get a little of a certain age, we'll put them away, you know? And we should change that. We should change that, at least in this country, but we should change that in general, because in Latin cultures and Asian cultures and some of the European cultures, the older generation is venerated. It's really, really taken care of because they realize that the wisdom that's there. So yes. So something for us to think about. Maybe I'll put it in a Monty Strong book too. I'll have Dex deal with that. Malcolm says, older folks are truly fonts of wisdom for your life, not just their own sometimes. I call it practice what you preach. I'm talking to my mom, but Mom and I are very open with it. Yeah, you should be open with your parents. I think that changes as you get older. You can have I had some great conversations with my mom when I was an adult. Things that they can't tell you when you're a child because they just can't, you're not ready for it, they can openly share with you when you're an adult. So it's really important, you know. And you know, this is not a downer episode. It's not the parents episode, but you know, we take these things where they go. And I think it's important. A lot of us are older. I mean, geez, how old am I? 54, 53, 53. My daughters know exactly how old I am to the day, to the minute. They're like, you're 53 certain days and 70 seconds. But I'm older, and I realized that a lot of things that I know now in my 50s, I was completely clueless about in my 20s and 30s. So with the age comes the experience, it comes the wisdom, and you realize, hey, you know, you got to be a certain way. Let's see. I've missed a lot of comments because we've been going on these rants. Hello, Mike. Good morning. got like 11 minutes. Welcome. So Malcolm asked, does smoking marijuana count as one of your 5? It's herbal. I'm gonna have to okay that one because yeah, it is herbal, and scientifically it's supposed to have a lot of benefits, especially for people with Alzheimer's and people with Parkinson's. They've been doing studies with marijuana where it does have beneficial effects. So, and if you study the history of hemp and marijuana, it's been very medicinal. It's been used in the past. So it's just that our government here in this country, now is when they're changing, but it was very it was stigmatized because it was a certain demographic that was using it, and they wanted to control that demographic. This goes back to the war on drugs and Nixon, where it was a big thing to control a certain population. So they made marijuana, I believe, a felony 1 or a something 1 drug, and they classified it along with cocaine and heroin and marijuana, which is 2 different worlds, a Schedule 1 drug. And because it became a Schedule 1 drug, possessing it became a felony. But now it's changing where it's becoming legal in many states. There are dispensaries. There's this medical marijuana, which does help people deal with pain. And it's slowly changing. The problem will be is that now that people are making, there's a business around it, will the people who were incarcerated for it be released and compensated? That's the big question. I think that's where the friction is going to come, you know? Yeah, it's a good system, Noah. Noah says his wife's grandmother lived with us until her health failed and helped with the baby. It's a good system. Yes, because who's going to take care of you? If you both have to be out of the house, who's going to take better care of your child than the grandparent? That's my opinion, you know? Audrey says, my mom refused to live with us because we live in the country and she did not like the quiet. So she ended up in her. Yeah, and see, and it's a case-by-case situation. I can't, there was, when I was younger, I couldn't live in the city. And when I say the city, I mean Manhattan. I used to live on 75th and 2nd Avenue. And I lived there for a short time because it was just too damn noisy. I said, no, I can't do this. I can't sleep, which is weird because I grew up in the city. But there's city and then there's the suburb of the city. And I like the quiet to an extent. It's not as quiet as it was in Vegas, which is the absence of sound, where you could actually, if you stand still, you can hear your heartbeat. That's pretty quiet. But it's quiet enough that I don't have the constant noise, background noise of cars and buses and stuff. Even though we have those, it's not like Manhattan, which is incessant, nonstop, to the point that I couldn't sleep. So Joe says, my mom is 72 in January. She has multiple sclerosis and finds it hard to cope some days, especially since my dad died 5 years ago. I gave her my job to look after her and make sure she's safe every day. She lives in the annex we had built in the house, and I've been asked if I regret giving her a registration to look after her. Nope, she's my mom, and she comes first. And that's everyone has a different story, and that's the way it is. So congratulations, Joe, on doing that, because it's a big deal. So yeah, hello Benna, hello Alex, welcome Wendy. Dolly says, I honestly don't remember how old you are. Every time I have to calculate it, it's because when yours goes up, so does mine. No, yours stays static, darling, and mine goes up. Isn't that how it works at this point? Yes. Davina says cannabis would really help my condition, but it isn't allowed in the UK, so I have to have opiates. Worse, opiates instead, because that makes so much sense, giving me a more dangerous, more addictive, less effective drug. Yeah, that makes absolutely no sense. I don't know how the governments can be so skewed sometimes. But remember, and again, my personal opinion, pharmaceutical companies are not invested in you getting well. They're invested in you getting medication. And so that's where the money is made. It's not made in you getting well. It's made in you getting more and more medication. So if you can find an alternative, they're not going to be behind that because they want you to get the drugs that they produce. Malcolm says Vegas quiet. Yes. Vegas, where we went out into, if you go out into the desert of Vegas, it's, dare I say it, even though it sounds cliche, it's deathly still. You hear no noise. I mean, I'm serious when I say it's the absence of sound. You'll stand in the middle of the desert, and it's almost like you're watching a movie that's been muted. There's no sound unless you make a sound, which is an amazing experience. If you could ever experience that, you should, because to not hear anything is incredible.
I didn't understand that.
I have a phone that just came to life. Excuse me. This is one of my Valkyries who has appropriated this phone. And yeah, now it's living. Okay. Fantastic. Let's see. No, Malcolm, not on the strip. On the strip, it's very loud in Vegas. But out in the desert, it's very quiet. Malcolm asked Dolly, are you still not 29? She is still 29. I think I calculated that for her the other day. See? Davina, you can get CBD. I think that's what Malcolm's trying to say, not CDB, but CBD. And there's a cream that actually has hemp in it, or the oil. You can get the oil, and it usually, from the people who've used it, it actually works. So something you may want to look into. And it's legal, I guess. So see if you can get that in the UK. Malcolm says, like the Sahara, Kalahari. I love the desert for that. Yes, the desert was interesting to be in it in Vegas. It was really quiet. And, you know, you look around and there's nothing. They have mountains, well, in Vegas, there are mountains, but usually it's dunes. But in Vegas, it was mountains, and it was completely, dare I say it, deserted. So it was a great experience being in the desert. And the reason I was in the desert was a great experience too. I'm sorry to hear that. Carrie says it does bog all for me. I'm going to take that as it doesn't do much for you, being that sounds like very English. So, but it does bog all, which means I'm guessing it doesn't work for you. I guess it's a hit and miss. It depends on your tolerance to the cream. But I also have CBD oils, and I have other versions of CBD. So things to look into that you may want to consider. Wow, so let's see, we've touched upon pretty much every kind of topic we could touch upon today. We've got about 3 minutes. So this is our last Mob TV for the year. The next one's going to be January 3rd, which means it's going to be next year. So this is the last episode for the year. I want to thank you all for being here and just hanging out with me, and we get to chat and talk and share time. Drink coffee or tea or juice or whatever it is you're going to drink, gin in Karen's case, and spend a good hour together. And I want to wish you all again a fantastic holiday season. You know, thank you, Craig. I appreciate it. Craig says he can't watch, but he's supporting from a distance. That means our episode is Dragon approved, which is awesome. Oh, it's O'Leary slang, bog all. Thank you, Carrie, for clearing that up. I'm with Wendy. Wendy says she never got many results from CBD, but she uses Tiger Balm. Tiger Balm you find that in every martial arts dojo. That is contact. Tiger Balm is your friend. So I can just look around. I probably have Tiger Balm around here somewhere, because it's Tiger Balm. Or Deep Dat Jiao. Deep Dat Jiao is an old Chinese. I think I have some here. Yeah, so it's never too far away. Deep Dat Jiao is an old herbal thing, liquid with an ancient. It's a Chinese recipe. It's topical, same thing. It's a liquid you put on, and it really does work. So, yeah, Chris, it has been a really wide-ranging chat. Sorry, I get on these topics, and if you leave me, I'll just speak infinitely. Good morning / afternoon, Aram. Welcome. Say hi to the family for me, please. We've got like 2 minutes left, so you came in right at the end. Say hi to Penny and the boys for me, please. Which I'm sure they're big by now, Aaron. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Wendy. You got booted off the Orlando Goes Live notification. No, you should be on. There's no booting. It's either you're on or off. That's up to you. We don't control that. So as long as you add your name to it, you stay on it, unless FB doesn't like you, Wendy. Have you done something to FB, to the FB police? Davina says, random topic, if an actor plays a psycho and they do a good job, is that a compliment or an insult? Like, wow, I totally believe you were an evil serial killer. I think that's a compliment, if I'm not mistaken. An actor would take that as a compliment. because that's what they do. They act, and they want you to believe their performance. So if they come across as a very believable serial killer, then they're going to be very happy that you believe they were. Audrey says, Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays, everyone. I echo the sentiment. Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays to everyone. Carrie says, love Gollum. Merry Christmas to all the mob. Merry Christmas to the entire mob. And Happy New Year to all of you. And I wish you a fantastic New Year. Let's see. Tiger Bomb is in every drawer of my house, Malcolm says. Yes. I have it all over the place, Tiger Bomb. Davina, I know you. Not only can you find a topic we haven't touched on, you can find every missing comma. This is why you have the Tao of the comma, Davina. I think Wendy says, I think it was a Facebook thing. Yes, I agree, Wendy. We would never boot you. So unless it was merited, but then we would boot you so far you would know it was us. You'd be in orbit. So that would be different. But we would never boot you, Wendy. Well, maybe you need to enter a room a different way. Well, guys, that is it. It's been an hour. This is our last Mob TV live event for the year. I want to thank you all for being here today. I want to wish you all a happy holiday, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year's, Happy everything, Kwanzaa, everything, whatever you celebrate. I wish it's the best when you have surrounded with people you love, and that you're healthy and happy and able to celebrate it. Don't get into any trouble this year if you're in a place where people drink a lot, and don't go out driving. Be smart, be prudent, so you can be around here for next year. If you're going to make your resolutions, be wise about them. Don't take on too much at once. But also push yourself out of your comfort zone just a bit, because it's a new year and you want to make a great impression and change your life and transform it into something better. If you could be around your parents, if you're fortunate enough to have them with you, spend some time with them, because they're your parents and respect is a big deal. And really, this is the last year of the decade, as TJ says. So next year we enter a new decade, 2020. So that's pretty much a big deal. And I like the nice symmetry of 2020. So you get 20 and 20. So that's pretty good too. So it's probably going to be a fantastic year, especially if we make it one. So have a great day. Have a great weekend. Have a great year. I'll see you next year for the Mob TV, which will be on the 3rd of January, fresh off the new year. And hopefully you guys have been measured in your eating and partying and whatever. And I want you all to be excellent to each other. Have a happy end of 2019 and awesome 2020. Bye.